Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Busch Gardens. It's me, Coaster B. Let's get straight into it. Roll the intro.
Moving on, I've just jotted down a path there last week, just a random kind of layout. Just going to remove that because I want to add a new water ride to this area. And I originally said that I wanted to do a log flume here and do some sort of Egyptian River Nile theme. But the log flume wasn't really fitting in very nicely. It looked a bit messy with all the coaster track and the log flume track, so I decided to go for this Splash Battle Boats ride, which I've never built before. This is the first time I've kind of used it. Unfortunately, you can't change the theme of the boats on the ride, so they are kind of fisherman style, but I will add an Egyptian theme throughout the attraction anyway. I've gone for a fairly short layout as such, but I didn't want to make it too big in this area. I want it to be nice and cozy at the back there of the Egyptian area, and I will try and make this all kind of fit in together with the rest of the Egyptian area that I've already done. So far I'm just going to go in and do some terra painting. It's always good with the sand, and then I'm just going to add some bridges over some of the areas for the exit, and I think this is where I'll put some water guns, etc., for the guests that can stop on the way out, and they can maybe shoot people or whatever they want to do. Have a stand there, have a watch, and this is also a nice way to join up the exit to the bottom of the Egyptian area from the pirate ship there. So the entrance is going to do a similar thing. I'm just going to kind of take it up and over and weave it underneath the coaster track. So we've got a nice interaction there as well with the coaster. I shall go on later and do more with the coaster and more with the area. I do quite a lot in this week's episode. I get quite a lot done in a short time, and so it's quite a lot to talk about, quite a lot to show you. I do a lot of theming today as well, which is fun. I'm just changing the path set to the wooden one. I actually quite like the wooden path for the queue line. I think it looks really cool if you've got a nice colour on it. I've gone for quite neutral beigey colours just to kind of match in with the sand. So now I'm going to start dressing up the splash boats. I'm just going to start with the station. I'm going to use these pieces. I think they look really cool, like they're kind of old, maybe broken, worn down. So that's the kind of thing I'm going for with that. And what am I searching for? So I go in actually and I take some of the pieces that I used to build the building around the coaster, and I use those for the same pieces as some theming. So I'm just using these lovely banners, which I really enjoy these. I think they're from the dining set or something. And I'm just doing a really, really simple station. It's just a back wall and some cloths hanging up above. But it looks really cool. I really like it. It's really simple though. And I'll dress it up again, like I said, with some scaffolding, etc. I'm going for like a ancient Egyptian archaeologist site, like people were searching for things. And also, since the last episode, I always talked about the splash effects in the main street or in the plaza area that I always can't delete, and I always said that they're in the picture. They have now been deleted, so luckily when I show more screens of that area of the park, they won't be there anymore, thank God. It was because I was running an old version of the game, because I was in experimental version for the Mac users, and I didn't realise that the new version hadn't been updated on my games, on my computer. So now I've updated, so the game runs a little bit better. I can delete the splash effects now in my parks. So there's no panic about that. I thought I was going to have to keep it there forever. So I'm just going in with some rocks here, just going to dot them around in random places, on corners, just to fill it in. I've made them slightly darker. And I'm going to add some scaffolding now around, just going to dot it in random places. This is great for theming. I think it's so simple. You just put it where you want it, different heights, different places, and it really does look really cool. It's a really simple thing. I've done it. I used to do it so much on Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I used to just, if I was doing kind of this kind of idea, like I've done Egyptian. I said I haven't done Egyptian areas before, which I haven't, but I did do like a recreation of Montu and of Osiris in Tycoon 3. So I've had a little bit of experience of working with different Egyptian pieces, I guess. But So yeah, I always use scaffolding and things, and it's always like my go-to. I'm not really sure what to do, just add some scaffolding around it and it will look cool. So I just did that. So now I'm just making some random buildings that maybe the people around here that are kind of digging around, maybe like a small town that's kind of destroyed underwater, or I don't know, whatever you think it is what it could be. So I just want to make the exit a bit more immersive within the scenery and within the area. So I just want to kind of make it look like little alleyways and have it kind of, creeping around. So I'm just going to fill up some of the areas with rocks, put some in the water, and I guess this is going to have like a River Nile name and theme, just because why not? It's very fitting to the Egyptian area. And if I didn't call it the River Nile, I think I'd be a bit silly. I think I'll go with something like the River Nile Adventure or something like that. If you have a better name that you could think of, then let me know down below in the comments. I'm always open for ride names because I'm not the best at naming my rides. But I do, like I said, I did a little bit of research, and I named the coaster with an Egyptian name that meant something, and when I do the Russian area, I do the same kind of thing, but sometimes with the little rides in between, I need some names. For instance, the swinging ship here, I've gone to like a very typical name and called it, the Pharaoh's Curse or something like that. So if you have anything better, let me know, because I'm always open. So I've just added in those pillars that I was talking about earlier, just to dress up some of the areas. I'm actually really happy with how that's looking so far in the around the splash battle area. Now I'm just gonna add and make the coaster now tie in a little bit better with the area that I just did. So I'm actually just doing really simple buildings, just very square, using the brick wall, and yeah, I'm just adding a little trellis around the top. Very simple. Adding some of these torch lights, which look really cool actually in the dark. I really dig how they look, especially at night time. When I go into night mode in the game, the Egyptian area actually looks really cool. I've done some lighting and things and added some warm colours around some of the areas. So I'm just doing a diagonal path there for the queue line for the coaster. If you want to know how to do the diagonal path, you can go and watch my tips and tricks video, because I tell you exactly how to do it in that. Now I'm just adding a little quick grab food and drink stall tucked in under the rock there. Really, just a really small one, nothing crazy, nothing special. And I love using this big willow tree, sinking it right down into the ground and having the branches just pop out the ground ever so slightly as foliage. I love that you can sink the trees. I think it's really cool, and I think sometimes you can make your foliage look a bit more interesting by sinking some trees into the ground. So that's something I'm doing here. So I have this big piece of land here actually at the back of the Egyptian area, and the park doesn't actually expand to that area. There's not really a way to get to that area, because the way that I've done the pathing for the park, it kind of horseshoes around the water in the middle of the park, and that side behind the Egyptian area is kind of just bare, nothing there. So I thought maybe I could add something extra there, maybe at the end of the build, if I feel like it, I could do like a fake water park or something that's another part of the complex where this theme park is, or something like that. What do you think of the idea? Would you like to see me do a water park? I did a water park way back a couple of years ago in my park, Royal Gardens. I had there was a road, and then on one side of the road there was a water park, and on the other side was the theme park. So I mean, now there's more mods, there's more options and things, and especially with the coaster Anarchy mod set, I can actually use the bobsleigh track and actually get it to go really steep and do some more kind of water slide looking things. So maybe I shall have a go at that if you want me to. I'm going to concentrate first though on doing this park, and once I finish the park, if I've got the time and I feel like it, maybe I'll do something on the other side. But do you have any other ideas that I could do if maybe the water park isn't really working out? Maybe I could do something else over there. a hotel, etc., or something. If you have any ideas, again, let me know. So here I'm just going to do some fencing here along the side of the coaster. I wanted to do some sort of custom looking fence, so I've used the diagonal fences from Shy Guys 4 set, and I'm using the log pieces just to kind of create like a little design, just to make it look a bit more fancy there. This is the first launch from the coaster. It's the slowest one, but it's just what gets the ride started. So I wanted to do a nice little fence area with a path where people could stand and watch. So I'm just going to go in now and do a station. At the moment, I'm kind of struggling with doing stations a little bit. They're not too bad, but I'm just kind of running out of ideas of shapes and different things to do. I like to stay away from doing squares, because square stations are quite boring, and this one is a square station. But I've tried to make it a little bit different with just doing the 2 peaks on the front of the roof, and I shall add like a kind of like a terrace area as well. But yeah, I just kind of wasn't really sure what to do. Nothing was coming to me to do this big. I could have done like a big Egyptian elaborate station, but I didn't want to draw away from the building that's where the coaster goes up in between either. I wanted to kind of have that as the main focal point. So I'm just going to dress up this a little bit, this building, so it doesn't look too vanilla and simple. I'm using quite a lot of vanilla pieces in this actually. Just the roof, I think, was from a mod, but you could have done the same roof with the in-game roof pieces. But yeah, I just want to get the station done, so then that's kind of this area sort of complete as you come into this Egyptian area. So I'm going to do like a nice little terrace area there at the exit for when the people come out. I mean, I should have maybe done like a gift shop or something, but I didn't really have much space. As you know, with most of these rides, especially in America, you come out of the exit of the ride and you go straight through a gift shop. So I could have done something like that, I guess, but I didn't really think of it at the time, to be honest. And I don't know if I want my park to have a gift shop for every ride. I'm just not really sure, because at the moment this park isn't in America. In my head, in the idea of the park, it's not really sure where it is. I'm going to say somewhere in Europe, as someone pointed out to me that my road system that I did is actually the English way, so maybe this is an English Busch Gardens park, so we'll go with that, which means in the settings I'm going to have to make it rainy, because as you know, it always rains in England. So yeah, so that's the kind of little terrace area done with the canopy. Again, tying the canopies in with the rest of the area. I like to have things that kind of correspond with each other in an area, so the areas don't look too disjointed, so it all ties in together nicely. I'm just going to finish up now with this diagonal path, and I'm quickly just going to go on in a second and quickly theme the swinging ship. And it was something I did super fast. I didn't put a lot of time into it. It really just kind of happened, and I used vanilla pieces to do it as well. So it's a really simple way to dress up the swinging ship, so I'll quickly just go on to that now. So I'm just going to put down some like canopy pieces, and then I just decided they looked a bit boring, so I'm just going to add the wooden one kind of in between a little bit just to change it up. I'm going to add like a little shrubbery planter area in front here just to break it up from the path area. Now I'm just going to add some of these walls that I've been using in the rest of the area and just kind of dot them around a little bit just to kind of give it like a fence. And that's basically it, really, to be honest. That was so easy to do, but really it looks really cool, so I'm really happy with it. But that's basically all I've got time for this week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time for another episode. Bye.